Hello, everybody. Welcome to Amazing New Podcast and welcome to the YouTube channel. It is the space where stories of resilience, transformation, and hope come alive. Here we share powerful journeys that remind us that even in the challenging moments, there is always a path forward. I am your host. My name is Dr. Rani Thanacoody. I am a clinical hypnotherapist using rapid transformational therapy method. I am a Mars Venus life and relationship coach, breathwork coach, astrologer, tarot reader, past life regression practitioner, and energy practitioner. So today on Amazing You, we are joined by the wonderful, beautiful Giselle Quintanilla. Giselle is an inspiring author, speaker, entrepreneur, and devoted mother of three. After a decade in the corporate world, Giselle made the bold decision to follow her purpose, stepping into writing and building her own business. As the founder of Ready Writer Services, she has helped countless authors bring their stories to life and become bestsellers. A five-time published author herself, Giselle empowers women, especially those navigating life transitions, to heal, rediscover their identity, and step into their purpose. Her journey is one of faith, courage, and transformation. Very warm welcome to Amazing You, Giselle.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on here, Dr. Wayne. It's my honor to be here with you.
Thank you so much, Giselle, for taking your time today to talk to the audience. You know, it's a real honor for me to host you, to have you as my guest. We've been talking since last year, and now things are more aligned and we can connect back again. So it is at the right time, at the right place. And I am super excited to have you today. Thank you.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. And my first question to you, Giselle, I was blown away reading your bio and how you left the corporate world and decided to start your own business. Can you please share with the audience briefly about your journey, about that journey?
Oh, absolutely. It's funny, Dr. Rainey, they write bios, right? And so you have a certain number of words and it sounds really nice, right? Oh, she left corporate to start her business, but there's all this stuff that happens in between. And you can't share that on the bio because there's not enough room. But really, I made a decision to leave my six-figure job because I was working 7 days a week. I was working long hours. And at that time, that was 2014, my kids, I have three kids, my kids were very young and I never saw them. I would get up really early before they got up for school and I would drive to work the drive was an hour and a half away. So I worked an hour and a half from where I lived. I had to drive and then plus traffic. And then by the time I got home, they were maybe awake for an hour before they had to go to bed. So I never really got to see them. And I decided this was not life. This is not life. That is not what I wanted. I didn't want to be the mom who barely ever got to see her kids, right? And so I made a decision to resign from the position. And the day, because they wouldn't move me closer, I wanted to be closer to a branch that was closer to my house so I could have that time back. And they wouldn't do that. And so when I resigned, my regional manager, he was at the office and he understood, but I got a call from the market manager. And so the market manager called and he says, we really want you to stay. We appreciate what you've done in this branch. Let us move you to this other location. But that location would have been an hour away instead of an hour and a half. And I would have to pay tolls, right? Because I'm going into a different state. It was just a mess. And I still knew in my heart, this isn't what I wanted. I just didn't want it anymore. Corporate has a way of making you feel like you are literally just a chess piece. And I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I resigned, but I did not have a plan. I did not have, I didn't say right away, I'm going to start a business. I had no idea what I was going to do. So I'm home. I am trying to, take care of my kids. And, their dad at the time we were married. So, he was working. And my mom suggested and said, you should open up a daycare. And at the time, it seemed like a good idea. I will tell you it is not. It was not good at all. It was good, in the sense that I got to understand organization and entrepreneurship,
Mm,
but it was not for me. That was not my calling, right? So we are not called to do everything. And so I tried that. That didn't work. I went to, we tried a transportation business. That did not work. I tried multi-level marketing. That did not work. I just didn't know what to do. And I worked for this daycare. That daycare, it didn't work out. There were things going on in that daycare. And so I'm sitting in my house one day praying, and I'm like, God, what am I supposed to do? Like, what do you want me to do? And I just had this love of writing. I love writing. I love the English language. I love grammar and reading all the things. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start a blog. But in the meantime, I need income. so I'm like, God, just give me a job that I can, help contribute financially, right? But still do this blog. And I did. I got a telemarketing job. It was really good. And I did really well with it. I loved
mm,
it. I loved doing it. Then one of my friends, she worked with me on doing the blog, and she said to me, Giselle, you need a book. If you're going to launch a blog, you need an electronic book that people can download when they subscribe for your blog. So I said, okay, great. And I wrote my first book, and that was Armed and Purposed. Armed and Purposed came digitally first before I published it physically. And it came because I wanted people to understand how to discover their purpose. So many of us that are living this life, and we're miserable in the job that we're in. We hate where we're working. We hate waking up in the morning to go to work because we're unfulfilled. And we're unfulfilled because we don't understand why we were placed on this earth to begin with. So I wrote that book, and I published it physically. And when I published it physically, one of my friends was like, I have a book. I need to publish my book. And so I was in prayer, and I just felt led to edit her book. I had never done editing. I had never done anything like that. I just knew I loved the language. And so I edit her book, and she publishes it, and another friend reaches out, and she's like, I have a story too. I have a story to share. And so I helped her with her book. And she says, Giselle, this is what you're supposed to do. You are really good at this. Like, this is what you do. And so that's how Ready Writer Services started. October of 2018, I launched Ready Writer Services. And ever since then, I have been helping people share their stories and turn their words into world changing books. And I love what I do.
wow. Thank you. Thank you, Giselle, for sharing your story. And I think you are very right to say that when we read somebody's bio, we don't know what is the story behind it, and what are the
Right.
challenges they face. But I think you've been very, very brave. When you left that corporate job, you had no plan. And that's when you started to try different things. And I think that's being brave, because I heard of a lady. Before she becomes successful, she's now very well known in the States. She's a speaker, she's a comedian, and she said she tried so many businesses, about 30 businesses, and she
Mhm.
failed. until she find her purpose, And
Yes.
the way she found her purpose, it was her child telling her that, Mom, you are good at talking and at making people laugh. That's when she realized that maybe this is something she can try, and being standing on podium and talking. And she has become since then very, very successful. She's been on videos and written books, standing comedies, and going around the world, has her podcast,
Uh,
just like you. It's like you remind me of her, how you took that risk to try different things, because so many people, they don't like their corporate job. And I know so many people listening to us are in that position right now, Giselle. They are
yeah.
stuck in a corporate job. They are feeling drained, stress, and no time for themselves, but just fulfilling the dream of somebody else without being able to fulfill their dreams. So, what would you like to tell these people who are listening today about how they can discover their purpose when they feel stuck like that?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dr. Rani. I think that what I wrote about was really understanding your makeup, how you are created, right? Where you were born, the family you were born into, the ethnicity that you are, right? All of those things play into also why you're here. And so for me, for example, as much as I love the English language, when I was growing up, my parents did not let me speak English at home. I had to speak Spanish. And so what happened is I became fluent in both languages. I read, write, and speak both English and Spanish, which serves me today because today, right, I write books, but I don't just help people write their books in English. I help people write their books in Spanish. I help them translate English to Spanish, right, which helps my people to get good literature, because that's what my heart is. My heart is for people to have good things, good knowledge in books that they can read that will contribute to them in any way, inspiring them, educating them, growing them personally. So your passion, so you have how you grew up, where you grew up, right? Your understanding, and then you have your passion. What ignites you? What makes you light up? I can talk about books for days because I love it. I could talk about stories. I say to people, I'm a storyteller. And so, what is your passion? And then I would say, um, what what gives you fulfillment? What fills you up? Because I will tell you, when I see people, so I don't just help people write books. I also attend their book launches, right? Whether they use me for marketing or not, I always support my clients, because there is nothing better than to see them talk about this thing that God placed on their heart that now they're holding in their hand. And that lights me up. I love it. I love seeing that, because you can have something that is on your mind and you see it, it's a vision. But then when you're holding it and you see it manifested, it's just a different feeling. And so that fills me up. I love seeing people operate in their purpose. So what fills you up? What is your passion? And what is your background? All of those things, you need to sit down with it and really think through and write it so that you can find what your purpose is. What are you called to? Because if not, you are robbing the world of the gifts that are inside you.
That is so true. And you remind me of Les Brown. He used to talk about that, and not to die taking your gifts with you to the cemetery.
Yes.
Yes, it's about really, because if you are not serving the world and you are taking your gifts back with you, it's like you haven't fulfilled your purpose.
Right. Why are you even here?
Yes,
Right? Let's be
absolutely.
honest. And
Yeah.
it sounds harsh, but I
Mhm.
think it's a reality, Dr. Rainey, that we all need to have.
Yeah.
Right? Why are you even here? I think it was Dr. Miles Monroe. Somebody Dr. Miles Monroe was a great teacher of purpose.
Mhm.
And so believe it was him, but somebody I heard say, a tree, if you did not discover your purpose living on this earth, then a tree had more purpose than you. A tree served more purpose on this earth than you did because you just existed.
Yes. I love that example that you provided about the tree, because the tree is there, it's blowing wind, it's giving us oxygen,
Right,
it's doing so much for the planet, so much
right,
for the animal, sheltering the birds, the insects. Oh my
right,
God, the earth, the soil as well, nourishing the
right.
soil with its roots. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And now imagine that having more
Mm,
purpose than you, right?
yeah,
It's that, I don't know about anybody else listening, but I don't want that. I don't
yeah.
want that. I want to live every single day pouring out everything that's in me so that the world is better, so that
Mm,
my kids are better, so that my grandkids are better. That's what we're supposed to do.
yes, that's so true. And is there one practice that you have used for yourself that you can suggest to the audience to help them to take that one little step in finding themselves and their purpose?
I would say writing it. Write it down. I think for me, in the beginning, and I still do it from time to time, but I actually did it last year, but writing what things I know about myself has always helped me. It helped me years ago in 2017 when I first realized I want to start a blog.
Mm,
Writing things about what I love. What do I love and what don't I love? What don't I like? What would I rather not?
mm,
Because if you don't acknowledge the things you don't like, then you are going to get trapped in those things, right? And so you need to be able to distinguish what you don't like and then what you do like and who you are and the things that you may not like it, but you are graced for it. So
mm.
you may not like it, but you're graced for it. You can do it. And I'll give you an example. I tell people I'm an ambivert. So an ambivert is not, it's somebody who is both extrovert and introvert. So I have moments where I'm introverted,
Mm.
moments when I'm extroverted. My preference, my core is introvert. I actually don't like engaging in conversation with strangers and big crowds. I don't actually like that. But even though I don't like it, I'm graced for it because in the moments where I have to engage and there is a large crowd, then that I have to get past what I like or don't like. And I operate in that so that I can talk to others, right? So that I can use my gift to encourage others because my gift is actually an encourager. That's who I am. And so if I don't talk to people, I can't do that. So so I have to tap into the things that I don't like so that I can get to what I do like.
I thank you so much, Giselle. I love that you say to write it down, because we live in a world that is so fast and that we use so much of technology, and we have lost that habit of using our hand to write. When you use
Yes.
your hand to write, it's very different because you are putting your energy, and it's also making your brain connect to each
Yes.
other, your different parts of your brain, and that help to activate things in you. So I
Right.
love that practice that you say, write it down, because I have done it myself. When I usually write my goals for the year, and then at the end, mid-year, I look at it, I say, oh wow, I have achieved already two or three. And then when I look at the end of the year, most of them have been achieved.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's so powerful to use our own handwriting. So thank you. I really appreciate you giving that little technique to the audience. And I hope it will be helpful, everybody, for some of you or for many of you. And my other question to you, Giselle, w- on your journey, has do you think healing has played a role for you in stepping into your purpose?
Oh, yes.
Mm,
Yes. If that is a great operating in your purpose
mm,
is a great way to discover more about you, and not just more about you in the good sense, but even more about you and things that you need to work on. So when I first started the business, I loved it, but I was also challenged with a few things, right? So what are those things? Well, Giselle likes to procrastinate. She's a procrastinator. So I had to, really instill discipline and structure into my time because I'm a creative and creatives wander. That's what we do. We wander. Our minds wander. We're here, we're there. We have squirrel moments where we're distracted and it's easy for us. So I had to understand that I needed things in place so that when I do wander, I could come right back, right? Or to avoid that part, to avoid the distractions and just focus on the thing I need to focus on at that time. So, it was procrastination. It was developing a discipline. I had to work out some things, even with dealing with other people. So, if you are, first of all, if you're an entrepreneur, there's no way to avoid people. Absolutely not. You need people, right? And if you're somebody like me and you want to really serve, you need people. You cannot serve, you can't be a servant leader without people. And so it helped me to understand people, understand how they think, why they behave certain ways, but also even myself, right? Why did I feel a certain way, right? And almost it's very humbling when somebody says to you, "I don't like what you did. I don't like this work." That's humbling. You're like, "Oh, because you think you're good at something, and then you're like, wait a minute, this person doesn't like it." And so not it doesn't matter about who's wrong or right. It's not about me being right, them being right. It's not about any of that. It's about humbling yourself and really seeing, okay, what do I need to improve? What do I need to work on for myself? And so and then there were little things that came that I realized that came from childhood, right? It was little things that I grew up with that then showed up as I was trying to operate in my purpose and serve other people. It showed up. So now the responsibility was on me to work those things out. So, and then it came even more, I'll share with you, it came even more in the pandemic when I went through my separation and divorce. So that it heightened the healing process, heightened even more because now I had to heal from this other trauma. And in what I did, I had to make sure that I have to heal. Now I have to heal. I don't have a choice because I'm serving other people and here I am hurt. And if I don't heal, if I don't heal properly, then I am going to bleed over the people that I'm serving.
yes, that is so true. Thank you for sharing those powerful words, Giselle, because as entrepreneur, we are the face of our business.
Right.
And and that's true. If we don't, we need to start by healing ourselves so that our business can grow and evolve.
Right.
Because yes, and we have all of us have so many childhood issues,
Mm-hmm.
whether we like it or not, whether we are aware or not. We all have small traumas and some have bigger than others, but we all have had some kind of traumas, even if it's little ones. It doesn't need to be big traumas to
Right.
keep us stuck. And and I think that's very important, powerful what you said, that if we don't heal, we bleed on others because hurt people hurt others. Heal
Yes.
people heal others
Right.
because that's our energy that we will emit. And them. I know of many people who've been going through divorce at this time. With the pandemic, with the solar flares, it's forcing people to look within more and to look at their life and their relationships and being more honest with themselves. It's not that it's not that they haven't been, but something that they have ignored to really connect with their heart. And
Yeah.
so many women are going through divorce, separation. And what advice would you like to give to those women who are navigating a separation or a divorce while trying to build their identity?
I think that when you're navigating separation and divorce, first off, I'm going to say this. When you're navigating separation, I want the women, I want you, or men, whoever, I want you to understand that that is a season in your life. And the reason I say that is because too many people disregard separation. But separation is a season. And that season, the purpose of it is for you to plant the seeds for the harvest that you want to reap. And what do I mean by that? I mean that if you're separated, one, it doesn't always lead to divorce, because I've seen people separate and then they come back, but they do work in that separation. What is that work? They heal, inner work themselves, not accusatory, not pointing fingers, not that person, he did, she did, none of that. They did internal self work because something is wrong. Right. And
Yes.
so you have to look at yourself. You know, my separation and divorce was because of infidelity, but I can't sit here and tell you that I had no parts in it. Right. I can't do that. I cannot tell you, oh no, I was the victim 100% and nothing. No, I can't do that. There was work inside me I had to do. So separation is a season, and we need to treat it that way. We need to treat it as this season where, not that I'm not, oh, I'm separated, I can go date somebody, look for people. No, it is a season where you sit with yourself and you discover things about you, good, bad, and different, and you love you and you heal you. That is the purpose of separation. Now, if it leads to divorce, then the seeds that you sowed in separation, you will see that harvest in divorce. You will see the healing. You will see the restoration. You will see, you know, how the people, the world, we call it glow up, right? When I first got divorced, everybody was like, oh, I did the glow up, right? Oh, you look so different. Oh, you look great. But it's because not that I wanted divorce. I never wanted divorce, but I had work I had to do for me. So healing, treating that as a season, and then that way, if you get back together, then you're good because you're healing. If you don't, you're still okay because you're healing, because you're doing an internal work. And so that comes with you navigating through separation and divorce. And when you do that, when you do the healing and you sit with yourself and you are honest with yourself about you, and you still love yourself, even in that honesty, right? So I had to say, I will tell you personally, I had to say, you know, Giselle, you have triggers. You have things that set you off. You get upset at things that are not that serious. You know what I mean? Like I had to really sit with myself. So that is how, though, that is how you get to your identity. That's how you build an identity, and you're like, oh, this is who I am, right? This is who I am. These are the things that I love. This is what I like. And I remember Dr. Rani going and really exploring, what do I like to do? I like to sit outside and read a book. I like to take my time. I don't want to be rushed. I like to go to my church and do ministry. I like it. Right. And so I really had to sit with those things that I enjoy, the things that I love about myself, the things that I don't like, but I still love me. I wrote myself letters. I still do. Right. I think it's a beautiful part of healing, and I do handwrite them. So, but you know, I think that those moments, they all contribute to building yourself on the inside, who you are. And I'm going to say breaking and building, because you break down first. You break stuff down so that you can rebuild. And all of it contributes to that. And that is even better because now you can operate in your purpose from the position of who you were created to be from the beginning.
Thank you, Giselle. Wow. That's really, really powerful what you just said. It's about really giving yourself the love in those challenging moments, giving yourself the compassion, and really taking that time, putting yourself first, because Oscar Wilde said the greatest romance you will ever have is with yourself. You know, we sit with ourselves 24/7. Your
Yeah,
partner, your friend can be there, but sitting with your mind, you will be the only one living with yourself 24/7. So you have to make yourself happy. You have to love yourself. You have to accept yourself, and not to worry about what people will say, because so many
right.
people are worried about what others will say, what society will say. But I think it's about being honest, being genuine, being kind to ourselves in those difficult moments. Thank you. That was really, really beautiful, Giselle.
Yeah.
Giselle, we are coming so close towards the end of this podcast, and I've got a few more questions to ask you.
Okay.
And the next question is, where can the listeners and the viewers find out more about your work and possibly connect with you?
Oh, absolutely. I would love that. I am very accessible in via Facebook and Instagram. So Facebook and Instagram, you can go to, you can, my handle is GISIQUIN. GISIQUIN, Facebook and Instagram. Or you can just look up Ready Writer Services LLC.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing your links. And your links will appear below, and it will appear in the description of the podcast and the YouTube channel. And everybody can reach out to Giselle because she's wonderful. She's doing a great work for the authors. If you are an entrepreneur and you want to publish your work, your story, feel free to reach out to Giselle. And Giselle, any final thoughts or messages that you'd like to share with the audience today?
Oh, yes. I will say that the most important, the most important thing you can do for yourself first and then for others is to really sit with yourself and ask, why am I on this earth? What am I doing here? Because we are all supposed to contribute to human flourishing. We are supposed to contribute to humanity. And if we're not doing that, if we're not fulfilled by it, then we need to sit with ourselves and say, okay, what am I doing here? What is my purpose? So I want to encourage your the viewers, listeners to just sit with yourself and just be honest about your purpose and what you're doing in this world.
Giselle, thank you for these really powerful words to end the podcast, because sitting with yourself is something that we don't do. We run away from ourselves. That's what we do. We spend our time getting distracted by all sorts of things outside. But we really, when we have to sit with ourselves, we get nervous. We get anxiety. So sitting with ourselves, taking the time is so important, everyone. I am learning to sit more with myself, I can tell you. And it's been wonderful. I'm enjoying that. Just being in that quiet and not doing anything, because we are in a world that wants us to be doing and doing. But when we learn to just exist and just be,
Yes.
that is uncomfortable at the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not comfortable because it's not familiar to us. But as
Right.
we do it more often, it becomes so comfortable, and then we can receive the messages that the universe has for us. Because if we are doing, 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 we're in constant survival mode, acting and
Yeah.
acting. But the universe wants us to listen and to connect with the source, with God, and with what our hearts want.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. I love that. And Giselle, I would like to say to you, thank you for taking your time, and I wish you a lot of success in everything that you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for providing this platform for people to share and everything that you do, because I know that you contribute to humanity. So thank you for all that you do.
Thank you so much, Giselle. And I would like to tell the audience who've been watching for the past 5 years a big thank you. Keep sharing, subscribing, and listening and watching. And for those who are new, welcome to this channel. And please subscribe, share, and continue to listen to the channel. And I would like to tell the audience to remember that it all starts with you and that you are amazing. You have always been amazing and you always will be amazing. Thank you, everyone. And huge thank you for Giselle for taking the time today. And we'll be with you again soon for another great episode. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.